What's happening, everybody? Of course, it's your host, Brink Young, coming straight out of them South Memphis slums, and you are tuning in to the most award-winning independent talk show in the whole South. I'm talking about none other than BrinkTV. Now, they're not just your TV set. We got a brand new guest kicking with us on the icy white couch tonight. We're talking about my guy, IAMNUTZO. How you doing, man?
I was just taking it one day at a time. It's been a long time coming. Finally got over here with you.
No doubt.
We've been talking about it for a minute, so happy to be here.
We here, man. We here, and of course, I got to say thank you for being a guest on the show. Really means a lot to have you on the couch with us tonight because we got plenty to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
We got plenty to dive into.
A lot of topics.
The thing about me, man, I always like to know where you're from.
I'm actually born and raised here in Memphis.
Okay.
You know, as a matter of fact, the city of Memphis actually was established on the day that I was born.
Wow,
so
wait
it was
a minute.
Established on May the 22nd, 1819. Because
Okay.
I'm sure that it took me, I found that out in 2019.
Okay.
When one of the reporters at News Channel 3 just bust out and said, "Happy birthday, Memphis." I was like, "Happy birthday, Memphis."
Yeah.
And then I looked, that's how I found out that me and my birthplace, we share the same birthday.
That's incredible, man.
Yes, sir.
See, it's stuff like that, man. It's those tiny little nuggets that just make you love being a Memphian as well as love being a MC or a rapper. What do I call you, man? Do I call you a rapper, you an MC, a hip hopper? I don't know. What we call them?
Call me a creator.
Okay.
Call me a creator, like a jack of all trades.
Okay.
Like I started off as an artist, started off writing my own lyrics as
Gotcha.
a rapper, but then over time I started learning how to play keyboard myself. So
Okay.
I'm learning how to become a musician just as much as an artist
Okay.
and a producer, things like that. So I'm also learning how to make my own beats, learning how to do my own engineering, mixing, mastering, EQing, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Just something that I wanted to do because I don't wanted to just put words together. I want to be able to put music together.
Right.
That is more, that has more weight in it. You know what I mean? Just the sound of music alone and just being able to create. You're not stuck in just one category. You know what I mean? Because if you're trying to get all the jobs, you got to require a whole lot of skills. So I've just been sitting back, behind the scenes, just really honing into my skills until I feel like, okay, I'm ready to go at it.
Yeah.
Just taking care of everything one day at a time. That's about it.
Hey, we talking about IAMNUTZO, and this is his symphony right now. Like I say, my guy is definitely conducting music. So at what age did music really become a passion for you?
Music started really becoming a passion around the same time that I've graduated boot camp from the Marine Corps.
Wait a minute, time out now. 20-second time out. Did you say Marine Corps?
Yeah, I went in and graduated boot camp 4 days before 9/11.
Wow.
So, yeah.
All right, so let's talk about that because, I got to say, I believe this is like the first Marine on BrinkTV on the white couch. Hey, we just had Memorial Day recently, so, hey, we appreciate your services.
Thank you so much.
Now, let's go ahead.
Salute to all the veterans as well, too, that are watching this, too.
Definitely. Let's go ahead and talk about that because, that's not something typical that I come in contact with as far as within music. Let's talk about Marines. Is that something that you had the idea of doing that as a youngster, or that was something that kind of grew on you as you were getting older?
Honestly, now this is the exact story, the reason why I chose the Marine Corps. It was so many other branches of service. You have the Army, Air Force, Navy, then you have the Marine Corps, and then also Coast Guard and things like that.
Right.
And if I didn't name any of them off the top of my head, I apologize in advance letting y'all know. But I chose the Marine Corps because, for one, I like the uniform, what they call the dress blues.
Yeah.
And two, I couldn't really choose land, air, and sea, and I heard the Marines do all three, so I was go ahead and just go for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was a pretty much a learning experience overall. You know what I mean? But during that time, when I seen the two planes just hit those twin towers, it was like, well, I signed up for this. I might as well go ahead and do what I need to do.
Yeah.
It was nothing else to it. You just have to do it. Got to deal with it. You can't complain about it, can't cry about it. You're already in it.
Yeah.
But you had to do what you got to do. So, luckily, didn't have to go. But actually, during my last year being discharged, I was given a choice.
Okay.
To whether to go help in Afghanistan and fight or just stay behind and go home. And I felt like, around that time they had a lot of friendly fire stuff that was going on.
Absolutely.
Because I even heard about the former NFL player that was an Army officer that got shot in the back.
Wow.
So for some reason, I just felt like maybe that would have ended up being me. You know what I mean? And being able to give a choice like that. In the Marine Corps, we're known as being the first to go and the last to leave. The last thing a Marine will ever think they'll ever have was a choice, if anything.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm grateful for the choice that I was able to make. You know, 'cause I could have easily went on the other side.
Yeah. Hey, definitely got to say shout out to everybody that are in the military, because, hey, it takes a special amount of courage to do that. You know, like a lot of us guys, man, hey, that's why I'm on the camera. That's why I do that, you know. But let's talk about that, man, because I understand that, of course, you know, they say the Marines are the best of the best. And, of course, military brings a certain level of discipline to you. Let's talk about, you know, childhood coming up. What was it like for you, man?
Childhood, I'd say just kid stuff. You
Okay.
know, back in my day, I was more concerned about Sega Genesis,
Oh, man, yeah.
Ninja Turtles,
Yeah.
G.I. Joes, things like that. Waking up early Saturday mornings just to watch Saturday morning cartoons,
Yeah.
things of that nature, like early in the morning,
Yeah.
you know, 5 or 6 in the morning, beat the sun up.
Right.
You know, those the days, you know, the days that I cherish.
Yeah.
You know, the most, the days I remember, especially Saturday morning.
Yeah, man. I used to watch, you know, not to tell my age or anything, but I used to watch Hammerman. I used to watch Kid and Play cartoon. Like, it was so many
They had a
cartoons.
Kid and Play cartoon?
They did.
Did you know they had a teenage werewolf cartoon?
Nah, I didn't know about that.
Kid you not.
Wow.
Yeah, the same one with Michael J. Fox on it.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a cartoon
Teen
version.
Wolf. Wow, that's
I
dope.
kid you not.
That's
I wish I could find it. We're gonna have to check it out soon.
Yeah.
It might have it on YouTube.
Yeah. Hey, just like I used to watch the real Ghostbusters. And I don't know if
Yep.
you remember that one.
I
yeah.
showed,
Yeah.
I had the toys.
Yeah.
Everything.
See, I had them too. See, hey, you know, if you know, you know. That's
Oh,
all I
yeah.
can say.
If you know, you know.
So you pretty much had a, you know, standard, I guess you would say, childhood coming up. Who were some of the artists that you were listening to coming up that kind of piqued your interest?
I think when it started off, I know NWA for sure.
Definitely.
You know,
Definitely.
and then branched off with Dr. Dre,
Definitely.
Ice Cube, Ice-T.
Yeah.
And then when I started getting with you know, Southern artists, when I started listening, of course, 3 6 Mafia.
Right.
And then Gangsta Pat, Project Pat, Pastor Troy, started listening to them guys. Lil Jon, the East Side Boys, like when I
Definitely.
started getting more and more
Yeah,
into it.
yeah.
But then when Ludacris and them started
Man.
really coming out,
What
and
we
started
talking
really
about?
taking, man,
Yeah.
it's like you couldn't stop me from listening.
Right.
You know, Lil Wayne, who else was around that time? Even Bow Wow around that time.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
it still is, of course.
Yeah.
I was just listening just to the fascination of how the entertainment was, and just wanted to gravitate into it so much. It's like the more I end up seeing them doing it, started seeing more and more of myself in it too. It's like, is that where the direction I was supposed to be going?
Right.
I was like, you know what? Let me see what this is all about.
Let me ask you this. Like, earlier in the interview, you did mention about you being a producer, learning how to make beats and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Were there any producers that you did study upon you, you know, getting on the keyboards, getting on the, you know,
Ooh.
tracks?
During the times I went to YouTube University,
Okay.
I've seen a lot of interviews.
Yeah.
The main one that I've seen was Kanye West.
Okay.
Because you really have to, if you really want to learn something, you have to learn from the best. So
Right.
it's almost like, how do they think
Yeah.
in terms of producing, and what gravitated them towards producing, just like what's gravitated. It's almost like once you figure them out where others don't, that's when you end up start to figure yourself out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So whereas the more I listen to those producer interviews with Kanye West, C-No, Honorable C-No, Will of Food, you know, just to name a few, and just listening to them talk and how they came up to started doing it, I end up started hearing myself like I'm listening to myself while
Yeah.
I'm watching them. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's not me talking, but
Right.
I hear myself while I'm listening to them.
Right, right.
You know, and when that kind of made me wanted to produce more, it's just, it ain't nothing like being able to say that this is my creation.
Yeah.
You know, be able to create something. It gives you some sort of, it make you feel like you have more of a fulfilling purpose in life. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
If you ever felt lost in a sense, it feel like there's what is meant for you to be here. You know, maybe something that you thought was meant for you might not be just that alone. It had to be other things. Just like I thought I was just going to be an artist, but
Yeah.
I ended up learning how to produce,
Right.
engineer, things of that nature. Now it's like, okay, now I'm learning how to do these. Let me see what else I'm capable of doing.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be a jack of all trades
There you go.
overall. You
Yeah.
know, just one man band if I have to.
Hey, that's the name of the game. I've been doing it for so long, but hey, of course, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
Absolutely.
Let's go ahead and transition into the music that you got out right now, man. You got a whole gang of singles. One of the singles that resonated with me the most was "I'm Working Hard."
Yeah.
You know, you dropped that, you know, a couple years back, man. Let's talk about this song.
I'm working hard. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. It speaks for itself. I mean what I say on it. Just that's really pretty much my lifestyle. Wherever you find me, you know, you can call my family friends up like, hey, what Nutzo at? Oh, he at work.
Yeah.
You know, he at work.
Yeah.
Or he out there working. He hustling, taking care of business. But wherever, I always been the type of person, whereas wherever I put my mind to, I want to at least try to do it to the best of my ability. Because if it's something that I'm interested in and really love to do, I want to be able to at least give it my all. You know what I mean? And especially when you take time to study in something, learn how to express, you know, because some people might express themselves, but people end up taking it the wrong way or reading it wrong because they might not know how to express.
Yeah.
You know, because people weren't really born knowing anything until you end up having to learn something.
Learn behavior.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
It was just in my purpose to where I just had to be an overall creator, to whereas if it ended up leading toward this, then where else it ended up leading towards? I'm just going wherever God wants me to go, man.
Definitely. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about more of the other singles that you have out right now. Of course, you got songs with my homie Mexavelli. Hey, let's talk about it, man. What all you got out?
From starting off, I know I have Follow My Lead.
Okay.
And I also have I'm Working Hard, of course, and I also got Gucci, which is Get Up and Go Get It. That's what it's abbreviated as. And you also have the original song Zero, and then along with the Zero remix with Pastor Troy. Shout out to DSGB, the whole Georgia Gang family. I also have, this is the first song that I actually made myself learning to being a producer and an engineer, was called Thinking Out Loud.
Okay.
And I released that, I think, in March of 2020, if I'm either 2020 or 2021, one or the other.
Okay.
But I know this year I just released 2 singles back to back, which is Go Off and Within My Element. And everything was produced, made by me. The only thing I didn't do was write the lyrics for the features.
Yeah,
that was
dope.
it.
And of course, all of that music right now is available on all digital platforms. We gotta jump on that Zero remix, man. You said Pastor Troy, PT Cruiser,
PT Cruiser,
man.
Pastor Disaster.
Exactly. Definitely gotta say shout out to the big homie. So I mean, how did that situation come about? Because that's one of the people that I was listening to when I was coming up. Like, ain't no more playing GA, all that. Like,
that was my first song that I heard from him.
Okay.
Too. That's and ever since then, I just been listening to him ever since. Linked up with the guys I know down in Hip Hop Over Everything. Shout outs to them guys too as well. They end up getting in contact with his manager, and they end up getting connected, and end up getting his information.
Yeah.
And then once we got the paperwork, everything established, he came on down to Memphis and recorded his verse at the studio that I recorded at that time too.
Okay.
You know, the same place where I recorded the original song. He just jumped on the made it for the remix on the second verse. Once we took care of that, we started talking a little bit, and then we ended up started to do the video. He came down, he did record a verse Monday, and that following Saturday, that's when we ended up shooting the video for the remix.
Yeah.
And so it was almost like, even though it was days in between, but it felt like back to back.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was an overwhelming experience. That's my first time ever doing something like that. And it's almost like, okay, it make you feel like you're already there.
Right.
Almost like you already had the tools, you already had the blueprint, you already had the platform, and you also have people that are working with you on these things as well. So you have no choice but to go up from there.
Man, it had to be an amazing feeling to be in the studio with a hip hop juggernaut like Pastor Troy, man.
I was just thinking, all these years I've been listening to him, I'm finally in the room with this guy.
Yeah.
And to be able to actually see him, his creative process.
Yeah.
How did he be able to learn from the best? You know what I mean? And I took a lot of tips. I took a lot of ideas to where I end up watching how he does certain things and see if I can implement that to what I got going on. If it doesn't work for me, then maybe something else will.
Right.
But he started it off. I want to make sure I'll be able to follow suit with that.
Yeah.
You know, as far as the business is concerned, the creative process, and just the overall music experience.
Yeah. One thing that's dope about the Zero remix, of course, featuring Pastor Troy, it's out right now on YouTube right now, but that video has actually been on the BrinkTV Music You Live countdown a couple weeks, man. So you got anything you want to say about that, or shout out to the voters?
I want to
anything?
say this is a prime example of what support looks like. If anybody has never seen an example of what support looks like, this is exactly what support looks like. I want to thank each and every last one of you people out there. Everybody that showed me love, even the ones that don't even know. All it takes is just a vote. You know, all we ask is just one vote. You know, let everybody know. We just trying to, I want to be the ones that's actually trying to help those that are really out there trying to help themselves. If you believe in the movement and believe what I'm going for, and you believe with everything that I stand for, help me out with that vote right here on BrinkTV Countdown. And thank you again for 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead, transition, man. I actually know you got a show coming up.
Yes.
We're talking about Lagodi Palooza. This is the first annual. Of course, shout out to everybody with Lagodi Music. And it's taking place, what are those dates?
The dates, know that myself, QP, shout out to QP, Mexivelli, the whole Latin Flex, Mid-South Flex Coalition. We all going to be in the building that Friday night on June 24th at 9 p.m. at 136 Cumberland Street.
Okay.
But it's also going to be going on again on June 25th, and we also going to be in the building around that time as well. So make sure you're going to see us perform on the 24th and, you know, mean to mingle with everybody else along with the rest of the gang up there on the 25th. I had to think about it for a minute.
Yeah, hey, it's a 2-night event. We talking about Lagodi Palooza, first annual. Definitely got to say shout out to Cody Crazy and everybody with Lagodi Music. They're definitely doing amazing things for artists here in this area. I believe they go turn it into a tour. I don't know. What's up?
I hope so. I mean, it already sounds like a tour.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay.
Make it a tour.
Yeah.
You know what? Make it a tour.
Yeah.
Just make it a tour. Go ahead and make it a tour. Everybody going to sign off on it and everything. Go ahead and make it a tour.
Hey, y'all heard it first from IAMNUTZO. But of course, make sure you guys are there. You know, you definitely want to support artists here in this area because you never know who go be on BET next week. You never know.
I have no idea.
So let's go ahead and talk about Memphis artists, the Memphis hip hop scene right now. How do you feel? Like, how would you classify it? Where we at?
I want to classify it as being a long time coming. You know, the last few years I started seeing more and more reception of where you started seeing more Memphis artists start to come out, you know, started being more recognized globally. So I want to give a shout out for those that's really doing the thing out there for real. You know, it's a beautiful thing because if you can't show love to those that's already made it, how you going to expect to get love yourself?
Yeah.
You know, that's just a question.
Right.
That's all it is. If you know how to, you know, show, you know, gratitude, things of that nature, it's like when you do right, right comes by.
Right.
No matter what. You know, it might not happen all the time. Sometimes you might do right and still have wrong being done to you. But if you know that's who you truly are, then you know what not to give up on, what you really truly feel and what you truly believe in yourself, things like that, even in music. Even if it's just learning how to ride a bike. If you took you 15 years to ride a bike, you got to get back up and keep riding that bike until you figure out how to get them training wheels off.
That was me.
Yep.
I didn't learn how to ride a bike till I was 14, okay? How do you know my life?
Oh, man.
He just triggered something, but nah, I'm kidding. Okay. But let's talk about, like, outside of music, man. What are you doing in your spare time? Any hobbies or anything that you want to elaborate on? I remember we was talking off camera. You did mention that poetry is definitely still a passion of yours, but what do you got going in your off time?
During my off time, I'm actually working on some books. I'm actually being the narrator of name of the book is called The Gangster Chronicles.
Okay.
Under Phoenix Publishing out in Chicago and Dallas, Texas, I believe. So I will be the voice of Sean Kane. So I'll be the one reading the book to you while you either working or driving or just your hands tied to anything you can't read yourself. I'm gonna read it for you.
Yeah.
So the name of the book again is The Gangster Chronicles. It's gonna be at least, I know, 2 volumes for sure, and it'll be coming out very soon. Soon as I get finished with it, I'll be the narrator. So I do a lot of voiceover acting as well too.
So we got Morgan Freeman Jr. over here. You are available for any booking for voiceovers and any of that, correct?
I tell you like this.
Okay.
I work 5 days a week. Monday through Friday. I'm available on weekends. But if you have enough to where I can walk away from my job right now and be able to do this full time and become a better creator for everyone, let's begin. I'm ready for it. Let's go.
I love it, man. It's very seldom that we get people that come on this show and they got the personality that this guy has. You're not fumbling, you're not stumbling, you're not bumbling. You already got that sales pitch for the people. And that's my favorite part of the show. But before we get to that, what's all your social media, man?
My social media, you can follow me on IG. That's the only one that doesn't say IAMNUTZO on it. It is The Real Nutzo, DAREALNUTZO. And Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, BeatStars, IAMNUTZO, all one word. IAMNUTZO.
Hey, man, so you got any shout-outs, anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, most definitely. I want to shout out to both K Pasa, Maxivelli, Mexiking, the whole Mid-South Flex Coalition. I want to shout out to Kingpin, Skinny Pepper, and the whole entire Give Me Some family. Let's go get it. I want to holler out to my brother, Fuller's back. I want to holler to my cousin, my sister, TD Blue, the No Flogging song. Ain't no flogging over here. And I want to get a chance to shout out to everybody else that supported me, and also for all the underdogs that's out there, the ones that's been underneath the underdogs themselves. Just know that I'm right there with you, and I'll be coming soon to help you as long as you keep helping yourself. We on the way.
Time for my favorite part of the show. This right here is the second camera on Brink TV, because see, we got not one but two cameras. This is the part where you look at these people directly in their eye. I know it's a lens, but you look them directly in the eyes and you tell them why they should be a part of your movement, why they should listen to your music, stream it, download it, why they should be at your performances, and why they should check you out when you're narrating. You said Gangsta Chronicles, right?
Right, Gangsta Chronicles.
Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is IAMNUTZO with Nutzo Entertainment. I want you to know, check me out. Everything I got going on with the music, and also with television too, and also with the narration as well. Maybe can you hear me? Can you hear me right now? I want to make sure you can see me loud and clear. I want you to see how serious I am with this. Let me in there. Why? Don't be stingy. Don't be stingy. Let me in there. There's room for everybody in there. That's how serious I am. I'm so sincere.
I couldn't have said it no better to myself. This guy is live and direct. He is coming into your living rooms right now and also coming into your hearts. I got to say thank you for coming on the show.
It's
really
a
means a
and
lot.
An honor to be here. Thank
really
you
means a
for
lot to
having me
have you as a guest, man. With that being said, now back to more Brink TV.